So I'm here drinking ayahuasca with this native family. And like I said, one of the master shamans says, I see your point. We need to start putting more intention in this. And so before I go on with this story, I forgot to mention something earlier in the story. As the quarantine started and this other Canadian man kicked me out of his house, at the same time, I couldn't find Wi-Fi and I had a laptop and it broke. It wasn't working well. Sometimes it would turn on, but it was on its way out due to the humidity, due to all of the hits it took in my backpack as I was carrying it around on this trip. And so I had no way of communicating with my family to let them know that everything was good. And I told this Canadian guy, because my mom had added him on Facebook, I said, let my mom know that everything is good. And so he's telling her everything's good and she thinks that he killed me or something like that. But really he's saying, no, really, he's fine. I see him in the street meditating and he seems like he's doing very well. And I've said hi to him. But my mom wasn't convinced. And so she goes to the Peruvian embassy in Canada and opens up a search for me. And so about a month into the quarantine, I'm there meditating in the street and I would talk with the police every day. And one of the policewomen that I talk to every day comes up to me and says, I think there's some kind of notice from the Canadian embassy saying that your mom's looking for you. She wants you to go back to Canada if you want. And if you want, we can get you on a plane right now. We can take you to the embassy and you can get going back to your country. And I said, no, there's no way I want to go back. There's no way I want to go back to slavery. And she said, oh, well, just make sure you communicate with your mom in that case. And so I found another friend who had Wi-Fi in his parents' restaurant, which was secretly open for the quarantine, even though it should have been closed. And in any case, I go to his parents' restaurant, I use the Wi-Fi, and I communicate with my mom and my dad for the first time in over a month, and they thought I was dead. And so here they are talking to me, and they're thinking, wow, his life must be horrible. And here I am laughing, saying, no, you guys have no idea. I understand why you feel bad, because basically I couldn't even be there for the last Christmas I was in Canada. But it's all good. And life is great. And I am way more free and have way more power than I've ever had in my life. And I might go another month. I might go longer than that without talking to you guys. And you just have to realize that everything is good, that I'm in control now. That you wanted me to break the dependence, it has been broken. And so I don't need you, you don't need me. We'll talk to each other when we can, when we want to, but there's no way that I'm going to be here like a dependent child, coming and telling you everything's all right every day or every week or whatever it is. And so they accepted it. They realized that not only was I dependent on them, but they were somewhat dependent on me. It goes both ways. Our children want something of us, and we want something of our children. And it's all good. Even when it's our family, sometimes we need to learn that it's not really healthy to ask anything of anyone or to insist anything of anyone. We need to let everyone and everything be until it's ready to come back on its own free will and communicate with us and tell us the stories of life's journey. And so I'm going to get back into the story about drinking ayahuasca with the Shipibo's and Pukal.